Yes.
What a great day to be alive. I was promised a sausage pie by the Hobbit, but I didn't get one. So she owes me a sausage pie. I haven't forgotten. Don't forget things like that.
What do you mean, can I ride a bit slower?
What's that?
It keeps saying.
It's Friday. Welcome back to Rudgey, aka the Doctor. If you've just joined us, hit the like, share and subscribe buttons. Sit back and enjoy the ride. I'll try not to disappoint you. Well, we're here on a busy road again, and well, you might be wondering why I'm doing it from a busy road when you know that it's all going to go wrong and there's going to be outtakes because cars come and go. Well, look at that view. Look at that. But I'm here because see them cars going down there and that road there and then that road there and then, oh yeah, see, you don't mind me filming that, do you? Look at the colour of that. I have to say, what a great day to be alive. T-shirts are on the way. The Hobbit's redesigned them all. I've given them a carte blanche, as she would say. So I'll let you know how that goes, probably on the next video. Before I go any further, I'd like to do a shout out to Lorna, Leanne and little Jack. Now then, I have never met a more polite and well-mannered lad in my life. And I've met a few kids. What a nice boy. Really polite and asked the right questions at the right time. So I let him have a sit on the bike. I enjoyed your company, Lorna and Leanne. It was good fun to meet you, and I hope you're enjoying this video. Right, that said, Bar 7, I've had a few people say to me that they didn't realise that Bar 7's upstairs. Downstairs is a taverna owned by somebody else. So yes. Downstairs is very nice, but that's where Mackis is, upstairs in Bar 7, and you get a wonderful view from there. And of course you get the lovely Mackis looking after you, who's a good friend of mine. Now then, I was also asked about the footy and the rugby last week. Well, I think probably I've asked around, and probably the only place you're guaranteed to get it now, if they're open, is Bar 360, Jim and Karen, also friends of mine. So if you go in there and if you're on the island and you want to watch a match, pop down and see them and see if they'll be open, and more importantly whether they're going to air it, because the football and the rugby apparently are going to contradict each other and clash. So yeah, right, why are we on this road again? Because it seems like 5 minutes since I was up here. Well, you see that wonderful thing over there, wonderful specimen of a motorcycle that's put up with me. Well, I was looking through some paperwork this morning, and her test is due the end of this month, and the test is due on the 20th of this month, and her insurance is up on the 30th of this month. I think I've got that the right way around. Doesn't matter to you anyway, does it? But then I noticed that 2 years to the day is when we first got together and I brought her back from Fiskardo. Now, if you look through my videos, you'll see that trip. And of course, as some of you know, I suffer with my mental health. I found that a really stressful trip, because not only was I going out my comfort zone, catching a ferry to another island, which I find stressful, I know I shouldn't, but I do, but I was also buying a bike, a vehicle for the first time in Greece, which is incredibly complicated if you've not done it before. Once you've done it and you know how it works, it's not so bad. I'll explain a little bit about that later on. But anyway, let's head out to Fiskardo and I'll explain more. But look at that view. Look at that. I mean, how can you be? I mean, look at that. There's people swimming. I videoed the cave last week, didn't I? Look at that. I know a few of you are struggling. Dreams do come true. True story. Just got to keep the faith. Okay guys, well, I've stopped to film this for you because it's a little windy, and the microphones that I was brought by Ian Redmond, unfortunately the bike interferes with them, so I have to use the old camera shoved down my shirt, which works fine, and that's okay, but it does pick up the wind. So I decided to stop and do the views on foot for you. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, there's a massive luxury yacht down there. There's another one over there. There is a lot of money in this world. Apparently 1% of people have got it. Because I certainly haven't. Anyway, they're not looking at this view, are they? Mind you, they are on a beach that you can't get to any other way. That'd be quite nice, wouldn't it? So yeah, there's a lovely Assos. Anyway, let's crack on and get to Fiskardo. Right, now if I'd have had time when I picked Nikki up, but I was in a rush to get back to Spilia, where I lived at the time, and park the bike up and have a look round to see what I'd purchased, I would have gone down here. So that's where we're going now. We're going there. Now in that direction, that's where we've just come from, is Augustoli, and the crossroads for Mitus if you're coming back from Augustoli, etc, etc. You all know that. And in that direction is the beautiful Fiskardo, and that's the bakery that, well, let's put it this way, I was promised a sausage pie by the Hobbit, but I didn't get one. She just showed me where she wanted to live originally. so she owes me a sausage pie. I haven't forgotten. You don't forget things like that. There's a little sneak view across to Ithaca. And of course, Nidri and Fiskardo are over the back there. So let's go down and have a look at the beach, shall we? Okay, so as you come down the road, which incidentally, as you can see, it's very busy here today. It usually is in the summer. These are the little snippets of a view you get, but I just thought I'd show you the colour of the water and the beach from a different view to what you'd normally see it, I guess. There's a ferry coming in from, well, I don't know where that's coming from actually. That might well be the one from Ithaca, I don't know. Somebody paddleboarding out there. Fantastic. And as you can see, last time I came here, the little hut wasn't open where you can get your drinks from. I might actually go and get a drink from there. Right, well here we are. As you can see, cars absolutely everywhere. What does that mean? Well, it means it's going to be quite busy, so it won't be for me, but it might be for you. So let's go and have a look. I'm going past the changing hut because I think it gives it a more picturesque look. There you go. Yeah, as you can see, it's pretty busy. Now, I know a lot of you aren't bothered by busy beaches. You just like the beauty and chilling out and going for a swim. So this might well be for you. A bit busy for me. So I'm going to go and check out where the drinks are, get a drink, have a bit of a chill, and then move on. So there's your price list. They've got just about everything in there. The Hobbit will be pleased to know that he does cocktails in there. And seemed quite a nice lad as well. I brought the double caramel billionaire ice cream because I think I'm worth it. And now I'm going to get back on Nikki and tell you how this story started 2 years ago with me and the bike. So yeah, 2 years ago I filmed from here, very relieved, but a bit sort of nervous about what lay in store. So walk back to the bike and I'll explain. So yeah, these were the first signs that Nikki saw that she was on Kefalonian soil. Now then, if you're in the UK and you want to buy a vehicle, just turn the ignition off, and you want to buy a vehicle, well, you go and get some money out of the bank, don't you? Well, you used to be able to. In fact, nowadays it's getting more difficult because we're becoming a cashless society, which, as you know, I don't agree with. But anyway, you go and get some money out of the bank, you go and have a look at the said bike, strike a deal with the owner, give him the money, he gives you the document from the DVLA to state that it's his bike and a receipt. You sign the various parts of the document, he sends the big bit away, you keep the little bit and apply for your new registration document. And the bike's yours, and happily ever after. You go for an MOT when you need one, and if you miss it, well, nothing really happens unless you get caught, you get a fine. If you don't want to use the bike for a year, you sawn it and take it off the road, don't have to pay anything. And they'll take your payments monthly. It's not like that here. When I brought Nikki, I was supposed to go with the owner to the traffic office. He was then supposed to sign some reams of paperwork. I was supposed to pay at KEP, I don't know, 19 euros or something like that, I can't remember now, for some bureaucracy paperwork. And then go back to the traffic office and pay some more money, where the bike then becomes mine. I have to then insure it. In this instance, because the bike was on Fiskardo, and I was very nervous, and the guy who owned it didn't speak much English, if any at all, Nikki, my insurance man, got involved. So there was some deal done between the two of them, and Nikki then spoke to me over the phone, told me what had happened, because the traffic office was shut. And of course I was staying in an Airbnb on a limited budget. So what you can do is, a pair of you go to KEP, you pay a fee, and they give you a piece of paper, which is like an affidavit really. The guy signed over to say he was quite happy for me to now take ownership of the bike, and there was his signature. He gave me all the documentation. He insured the bike so that I could ride it, because the vehicle's insured here, not the person. So I then rode the bike over to Kefalonia, and the story got a bit more complicated from there, but that, in short, that's what I did. And then I went to the traffic office at my leisure, paid the various fees to register it in my name, and now the bike is mine. Because, of course, the other thing is that you can get fined for not having your MOT. It's not called that out here. Every 2 years I have to do that. In fact, as I said earlier, it's due. And I think, as far as I know, if you miss that, you can get fined automatically, regardless of whether you get pulled up. If you don't want to use the bike, you have to well, back in the day, you used to have to take the number plates off and hand them in. You can do that digitally now, and then the bike's off the road, you don't pay the tax. I'm still looking into how that works, because, you know, as far as I can see, you have to take the bike off the road for 12 months or something. That can't be right. So I'm looking into that. And if you know any more about all this, put it in the comments, so long as it is correct information. Right, so let's go down and have a look at the ferry port, shall we, where me and Nikki first got off the ferry onto Kefalonian soil. Right, so here we are, Fiskardo. And that, where that golf is parked now, is the ramp where you get the ferry to go to Nidri, which you can then drive onto Fiskardo from there. So yeah, this is where the journey for me and Nikki started. In actual fact, I did a video a few months ago about whether the umbrellas were coming back or not. I've noticed there are a few gaps. So maybe they have took notice. Not as busy as it normally is. I mean, normally this time of year, we're in June now. Normally, the boats are completely rammed in. You wouldn't get a fag paper between them. And yet there's quite a few gaps. And they're usually all moored up. You see where those are stern to the rocks, that's usually jam-packed full as well. There's a lot of activity, but it's not as busy as I've seen it this time of year. Yes, funny thing, the mayor says we've had record flights into the island, and yet my friends are telling me that they're not as busy as they usually are this time of year. And a lot of people who visit the island that I've spoken to, viewers and people like that, are all saying how quiet it is. I have seen a lot more traffic this week than I have in past weeks. So yeah, let's hope the season picks up for my friends' sake, the ones who've got businesses out there. But anyway, this is where the journey started for me and the wonderful Nikki, aka the Black Pearl. Incidentally, the ferry comes in here and goes out round the back of Ithaca and then up along that way. And there is a place where that blue building with the blue shutters is. That's where I got my ticket, but you can get your tickets here, I believe, at this little place here. So there you go. There you go. Foki Beach. Should we go to Foki Beach? The Hobbit will tell you it's Foki Beach, but I'm sure that says Foki, don't it? The joys of a 5-year-old sense of humour. Anyway, it's down there, so let's go and have a look, shall we? Purely because I've never videoed it before, this is the road to Foki Beach from Fiskardo. These properties here have got a beautiful, beautiful view. Anyway, I've just come round the corner from Fiskardo. I thought I'd show you the view that that some of these places get if you rent one of these ones along this road here. And listen to that, how peaceful that is. Now the Hobbit will be jumping up and down with glee to see that place over there. She's wanted me to walk there since I've known her. Never happened. Few yachts out there, look. There's one making good time into Fiskardo, but not as good a time as that boat out there that's under power. And not a windmill to be seen on Ithaca. Look at that, fantastic. Great day to be alive, don't you think? Oh dear me. Anyway, let's crack on. Now I've stopped here on this bend because the Hobbit will recognise this place. Anyway, look at that for a view. Tiny little beach down there. But I've stopped again to take in the view. So there's your lighthouse. Let's get aboard Nikki and crack on. Okay, so I've filmed this quite a few times before, but this is the entrance to Foki Beach. Ithaca over there. Round the corner would be Sami, Ephemia, and to the left would be Fiskardo if you're sailing. I know a few people who have anchored up here overnight. What a fantastic place. You've got caves and all sorts of things going on. But you have to anchor stern to the rocks. Now you see the, I don't know whether you can see it, see the stern lines going out. What you do is the skipper will drop the anchor somewhere just off the middle of the entrance to the bay here, and then go astern, paying out anchor chain, and you would then send a dinghy, or in some cases I've seen people swim, out to the shore where you'll tie off onto the trees, and then you'll take up on the anchor to pull it reasonably tight, not too tight, and that's it for the night. You can anchor up. Right, so I've just walked up a ways just to give you a better view, and just down there, which we'll investigate in a minute, is the beach and the taverna, which was devastated in the Medicane a few years ago. Completely flattened it. I think they had a GoFundMe page and all sorts. It's rebuilt now, but it must have been a bit of a trauma for the family. Lost everything, lost the home and the business. But anyway, it's all rebuilt. So let's go and have a look on the beautiful Black Pearl. Okay, so here's Foki Beach, and there's the taverna over there. My back's not too bad today, but I don't think I'm going to push my luck and go down there. I've done a bit of walking today. But yeah, that's what you get. I think it's pretty pebbly. It's more, it was described once on one of the sites I saw as a field with some sea running up to it, which I think is a bit unfair. Anyway, quite a picturesque place, and very popular, as you can see from the vehicles that are all parked along this road. Nevertheless, worth a visit, I would say. Ah! And this is the guy I had the bike off. How are you, my friend?
Okay.
Fancy seeing you here. Yeah. Now there's something you don't happen every day. This guy is the guy I had the bike off. Yeah. You still in Fiskardo, or you live here now?
This.
Oh, you're driving. Ah.
Yes.
So he's driving for a living now. So he's visiting Kefalonia.
Εβδομάδα. Εβδομάδα. Δύο φορές εδώ. Δευτέρα.
Yeah, yeah.
Παρασκευή. Δύο φορές.
Yeah, yeah, right. We're going to have a chat, so I'll be back in a minute. Right, well, down in the distance down there is Fiskardo. You can't see it from here, but trust me, it's over there. And Ithaca in the background, and right in the distance would be Fiskardo, Rudgey, that area. And yeah, it was really nice to meet the original owner of Nikki. That's who that was a minute ago. He misses the bike more than he can tell me, I can tell. It was touching his heart a lot. And she does get you like that. He was asking me if she'd been in any trouble. Well, I couldn't really explain because he doesn't speak any English. But yes, my friend, I've had to replace a few things, but generally she's been very well behaved and I love her to bits. So it's very nice to see you, and I will catch up with you when we come over to Fiskardo. Me and the Hobbit were thinking of doing that. So if I bring the bike over, you'll be the first to know. So where am I? Well, I'm on the road out now. I've come back from Foki Beach up onto the main drag, which would take me back to Augustoli, but I've turned left and headed in the direction of Efemia, because I fancy popping through there and having a coffee on the way through. So that's what I'm going to do. In this beautiful little village in the hills in the middle of nowhere, as you can see. Lots of really old places up here and one or two new ones. Okay, well, I'm sorry that was a short one this week. It was me reminiscing about the day I brought Nikki, the Black Pearl, in Fiskardo and sailed back from Nidri to Fiskardo to Capilonian soil, where she now lives with me quite happily in Villajaro in Caravadas. And yes, the reason I've done this video is it was yesterday, it would have been 2 years to the day that we did that. And no, I didn't set that up. That was the original owner of the bike. And as luck would have it, he just happened to be having a drink and a bite to eat in the taverna at Foki Beach and saw me ride past and went absolutely mental. He was so pleased to see me and the bike, and I can tell he misses her. I'm looking after her, as I said to you, mate. And yeah, she's been no real problem. I have had a few things go wrong, but that's just maintenance. So yeah, it was really nice to see him, and I'm going to try and catch up with him when I go out to Fiskardo, maybe next year now, I think, because we're cutting it a bit fine. Right, so catching up on the news and some of the questions. The Hobbit is still waiting for answers as to the property here. She's doing okay in the UK part of things, but I think she's waiting for some answers and red tape and stuff to be sorted out here on the island. And of course, the people who own the property she's trying to buy are Greek Americans, so they're in America, so that makes it more complicated. Anyway, more news on that later on. She'll be out soon. I'll let her explain that. As you can see, some of you have asked, the garden experiment, let's say, is doing really well. We've got some chili peppers, some cucumbers, some small tomatoes, some beef tomatoes, and some bell peppers growing. They're all doing pretty well. They're all flowered, so hopefully we'll get a crop of them. I'm thinking of putting a little table down there. I'd like one of those small cable drums, and I'll take the bottom off it and make some legs and use the top as a table. Put some chairs there, little rustic allotment area to sit and drink my coffee or have a beer and watch the birds, because the birds like to bathe underneath the shower that's produced by the irrigation system. It's quite nice watching them. Yes, I know I'm getting old, aren't I? You start watching the wildlife, but I like it. It's nice. Down here, I'm getting some cushions, and we're going to paint those chairs. They were here when I took the house on, so I'm going to restore those. Not quite sure what to do with that area. I don't want to grow the grass back because it will take a lot of water to keep it going. So I may try and gravel it or something, but we'll see. I'm going to tidy it up, make it look a bit nicer. Anyway, let's go in the house. Not much else has changed. The Hobbit cleared all this before she went for me. Having to think what I'm going to do about that. I should probably deck it out and put some sunbeds and stuff. It's quite nice there. During the late afternoon, it gets quite cold. As you can see, I sit out here in the evenings and have my evening meal. Now, I've been asked about the living room. As you can see, Chopper Craig and Auntie Kath brought me some Jean Louis chairs, as we call them, Jean Louis. They swivel and they're leather and they're really comfortable. So I've put those in, but as you can see, there's a coffee table there. Now, a few of you asked me about the coffee table. This is what they look like when I finish them. This is just a coaster here to stop there because it's stainless. So yeah, basically what I do is I bond with some marine grade Sikaflex, basically what is a stainless bowl upside down. I cut the screw threads off and bond that up, and I do the same with the stainless tray and bond that on. All I've got to do now to make them a bit secure, because you notice it wobbled a bit then, is I'm going to put some rope round the gap. You can see the gap between the bowl and the base, and pull it tight, and that will stop that from moving around. But I thought I'd show you what they look like done. The chairs that we're in here, I'll put into, this is Pat's room. There's the wash basket that Tin Ribs gave me. So she's got her own wash basket in there. She's got 2 chairs, and there's usually a telly in there for her as well. And a view of the mountain when the window's not shut. Yeah, and we imported as I've said before in other videos, we imported the table my mother and father brought me to Sovereign Bay, my boat, along with the telly that I brought off Chicken Boy. So yeah, so that's the house. Let's go and I'll show you how I make these tables. I've moved the money plant because it wasn't doing so well where it was. So I've moved it there. Keep an eye on it. Better look to have it next to your entrance anyway. I'm growing some roses and flowers in that area there where there used to be a farm. Now this is getting watered, it's coming out nice. The roses have just finished blooming, but I guess I'll get some more. The Hobbit cleared all this for me before she went. Now this is my workshop now, as you can see. A bike bench to work on the bike. So what I'll do basically, Mackie gets these, now they're full of coffee beans, and he turns them upside down, puts them on his machine, and it feeds the machine. When they're empty, he throws them away. So what I do is I cut the screw thread off with my cutter on my grinder, and then for about €1, I get one of these stainless bowls from the Chinese shop. I put some Sikaflex around the base of that, and round the base of that, bond them together. We do the same with these trays on the top. I mean, these are only about €2, if that. And as you've seen, makes quite a nice coffee table. So that's how we do that. So now we'll go back to the idiot on his travels to let him sign. And this beautiful little village in the hills in the middle of nowhere, as you can see. Lots of really old places up here and 1 or 2 new ones. So, if you visited the Coffee and PayPal page this week, thank you ever so much for doing that. It's a massive, massive help. And if you hit the like, share and subscribe buttons, thank you for that. That's a big help too. And if you've enjoyed this video, look out for next week's video. And if you've hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and it will let you know when I do another video. In the meantime, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video as much as I've enjoyed making it, and I'll see you guys all next week. Catch you later. It's Friday. Welcome back to the channel, Rudgey, aka the Doctor. If you've just joined us for the first time, don't hit that. And there's a car coming now. See, busy road, always the same. 2, 3, 4. New microphones don't work on the bike. They get interfered with by the output of the coils, I think. So you can't hear what I'm saying. So I thought, well, you're going to miss out on some of the views. So I've stopped just to do a little bit of filming of the view of the lovely village of Assos, basking in the sunset. Sunset? Start again. Take 3,000,009, or was it 10? Fuck, I can't remember. What do you mean cut? Go on set. Who said that? Oh right, we're rolling, are we? Okay. Well, anyway. 2, 3, 4 cars again. Cut. I have to stop doing this on main roads. Right. This is the guy I had the bike off. How are you, my friend? Okay. Fancy seeing you here. Yeah.